Welcome to Studio 58A Live here at Jamaica Information Service, our discussion program coming to you on Facebook and Instagram. I'm your host, Vaughn Davis. Thank you to everyone joining us online wherever you are around the world. We really do appreciate it. Thank you very much for your eyes. And as you watch, remember to send in questions and comments so we can have a very lively discussion. And like how we have your attention, do us a favor now. Share this video with a friend or two or 1,000 if you have them, so we can have a very far-reaching conversation, all right? Now, the Child Care and Family Services Agency, CPFSA, is going to be observing National Foster Care Week from February 9 to 15, with the objective of creating greater awareness about the foster care system, and I suppose even more to get more children being fostered across the country. Here today to talk about the week and its activities and all the other related issues is Georgia Edwards, Foster Care Officer with the Child Protection and Family Services Agency. Welcome, Georgia.
Well, good afternoon.
All right, great to have you. All right, so let's just get straight into it. Before we even get into the activities and that kind of thing, what exactly is foster care? What is that?
All right, so foster care is a temporary legal process that allows non-biological parents to provide children in state care with a home, nurturing environment, and it also contributes to their overall development.
All right, so, but, people might confuse that with adoption. What's the difference between, foster care and adoption? I mean, apart from the fact that I would think is just because foster care is temporary and adoption is permanent, or is it more detailed?
So adoption is permanent. It's a permanent process where the parents give up their biological rights to the family who is going to be taking these children. So the parental rights of biological parents are transferred to adoptive parents.
All right, and then foster care is just more so like placing a child with a family for a temporary period.
Right, temporary.
So, I mean, that begs the question for me of if we can get them fostered, why we can't get them adopted? You know what I mean? What would be some of the barriers that prevent that from happening? So
some children, they are not free for adoption. So we have children who are also born to teenage mothers who or they're still in state care and they are not at the age of majority as yet. And so they cannot sign a consent giving up their rights. And also there are some persons who really at present, they don't have the wherewithal. So we at the Child Protection and Family Services Agency, we work with them and in order for them to get back on their 2 feet.
All right, so, those cases are what you examine to, so there are some persons who might not necessarily want to relinquish rights for their children, but they will allow others to watch over them because, just to help them while them go through a situation or whatever the case
and
may
that
be.
is where we say temporary.
All right, lovely. Now, how does one become a foster parent? How can you, a person who might be hearing this right now, persons who have been interested in doing this for the longest while, how do they go about becoming a foster parent?
All right, so the person should be a responsible adult in good legal standing. They can go onto our website and download our form. Our website is www.childprotection.gov.jm, or they can come to any of our offices. My office is located at 40 Duke Street, and they can call us at 40 Duke Street. The number is 876-948-6218, and we can email them the form. The form is submitted with 2 letters of references from a notary, so either a minister of religion, justice of the peace, lawyer, doctor, school principal, police officer, senior rank. They take that in with the 2 notarized pictures and we process. They should also, in some case, they need to be willing to do a medical or also to submit a police record. All
right. You cross all the T's and dot all the I's to make sure you have some really good quality persons taking care of children.
And they need to agree for us to do a home assessment, because that's very critical, because we want to know that where we are placing our children, that it is safe.
Absolutely. All right. Now, you went through all the application process, but who is eligible? I'm sure, it's not exactly like any and everybody just automatically qualifies to adopt a child, or foster a child, rather.
The person should be 25 years, between 25 and 65 years old, right? Consideration, though, is given to persons over 65 years if you are related to the child to be fostered.
Okay.
The person can be a single or couple.
Right.
In the instance, placement with a single male is done if there are families, or exceptional cases where the person might be a mentor to the child, or maybe godfather, or the parent might say, you know what, I have Vaughn. I want Vaughn to foster my child, and Vaughn is an outstanding person, right? I earlier said that they would need to be willing to submit a medical report if needs be. We also do foster care, as I said earlier, that between 25 to 65. However, we have where if the person is related and they are younger, over 18 though, that we foster. Consider, and the person need to also be have a steady income.
Absolutely.
Because they know it takes cash to pay,
It does, yeah. You can't exactly raise a child with no money. It just don't make any sense. It's not going to work. So when you go to do the home assessment, what are some of the things that you look out for?
So we look to see that the place is secure. Right? Where is this child going to be sleeping? Do the person, they have a dog?
Okay.
Is it a pit bull? Is the place secure? The dog is secure outside. Is there a pool? Because that's important, because these days,
absolutely, you never know. Child can you turn your head for a second and boom, child wander off.
Anything can happen. Right? So we ensure that the place is secure for the child. It is also important for the child to have, even if they don't have their own room, because they might have more than one children at home, that they have their own bed. Because everybody needs their own space.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I love it. A question coming in already. So from Ava Tomlinson. Let me just shoot the question. Thank you, Ava, for your question. Really appreciate it. She says, are foster children eligible for government health insurance? Example, if the foster parent works with GOJ, can they benefit from Sagicor? This was a sore issue for me while a foster parent without success. So it sounds like the person wanted to, have the child benefit from her insurance, but was unsuccessful, and so it became an issue. Any way you can weigh in on that and how that can be addressed?
All right.
Or just give us what exactly the situation regarding that is.
What we do at the agency, if a foster parent asks us, say that they want their child to be on either Sagicor or Guardian Life, or whichever policy it is, that we make we do a letter to our director indicating the interest. The director would write a letter to the person's place of employment, right? For whichever insurance company that they want the children. It's now up though to either Guardian Life or Sagicor if they will accept. But for the most part, it's persons who are adopted.
Okay.
Right.
So it's like a special circumstance.
Right. However, of late, I think they have some leniencies, so persons probably could just speak to somebody at Sagicor or Guardian Life, and they might get through.
All right. Another quick question from Mrs. Hibbert Wilson. Thank you, Mrs. Hibbert Wilson. Going to take your question. She says the foster parent need to have a job. Does that mean that the state doesn't assist financially?
Yes, we do assist financially. However, it is
only a contribution or something
enough,
like that.
Right? And remember, right now, we are doing it for the love and not really for the likes.
Right.
And so we really want persons to come on board. We give a stipend. We also assist in any way possible that we can once we are made aware. Right.
So it's
but
really
it's a partnership. It's a partnership between the Jamaican
public and the persons who are interested.
And also the CPFSA.
All right, so I suspect, it's really for those who have that deep, genuine interest in providing assistance to a child who might be coming from a difficult background or a circumstance, that kind of thing. So it's really, it's not a cash grab. There's no cash grab in this. It's truly out of the goodness of your heart, if you know what I mean. So as we continue, how long does the process take to go through to become a foster parent? How long can that take?
All right. It can take roughly between 3 to 6 months, I'll say, because we once we go through, we get the application form, we call in the person, we do an interview. And so we need to get some background information, your motivation. Why do you want to do this? Right? Your parenting capacity also. That's very important.
Absolutely. You have to test that to make sure the person is not abusive or, might have some kind of personality traits that can rub off on the child, that kind of thing.
Exactly. So once we get all of that, we do the home visit. We also interview the other children, other persons in the household, because we want to ensure, everybody is on board with this thing.
Absolutely. That is important. That's extremely important.
We don't want the child to be uncomfortable, or we don't want anybody
a contentious home environment, something like that. Yeah.
We don't want anybody in the household to be uncomfortable, and so we interview everybody. Once that is done, we make a submission for approval of the foster parent. And once approval, we also we match. So some person might say, okay, I need a 5-year-old, and we look on our list and we match up accordingly. However, the person would need to visit. So to form some sort of bonding. So person will visit the children's home, and after several visits, we will say, all right, let us do a supervised weekend visit. After we watch that to see
how they interact and how they feel, how they feel them out, and see everything work.
And we also talk with the children, right? Because we need to hear their feedback. Because yes, they want to be in a home, but maybe the particular one that we place them in.
See, and every home, they probably want to be there. You know what I mean?
That's so true. Right, and a holiday might be coming up too, so we give a longer period. Once all is on board, we make an application. We do a report to our placement committee, who do the approval. After which a child is placed. However, the foster parents need to sign an agreement, because guess what, Vaughn?
People will always change. People change their mind and feel
like, they need to know that these children, it is a temporary thing.
Meaning some might decide that they don't want to give the child back.
Right, and we don't want anybody, because sometimes you are so comfortable, and the children are them nice, May I tell you, man, them nice.
Them nice, and you get so comfortable and forget that they don't belong to you.
And before you know it. So we need for all change them name. No, we can't do that. So you see the agreement, everything is outlined in it.
Yeah, right. So this might be like a 10-sheet something there on the
other
side.
Man, it's about
thick piece of paper telling you will not steal this child, you will not take this child out of the country, something like that.
You know what? When we were talking earlier about the different steps, I left out that a training is done. Because a training is very important. Right, and that's where during the training, persons can ask their different questions. They are also, and training is ongoing. So it's not a 1-day or a 2-day thing, it is ongoing. So right until the child is probably moved from the home, you have training.
All right, so let me just take this quick question again from Mrs. Hibbert Wilson. Thank you, Mrs. Hibbert Wilson. We appreciate the question. Thank you for your attention. She's asking, can one foster living abroad, which means the child would have to relocate? I suspect she means if you're overseas and you want to foster a child in Jamaica, how is that even a possibility?
No, foster care is done locally.
Okay, so you can't exactly be enough. I mean, let's say for argument's sake, you have a auntie or somebody who's a friend or maybe a relative of a parent who, for lack of a better example, dies or something like that. And you want to lend a hand because you know the family, you grew up here, you'd have to come back to Jamaica and live here, in order to help. You couldn't bring the child up, or that's a whole different process
that's adoption,
entirely.
And we have to also bear in mind that children who are placed in foster care, they are wards of the state, so they come through the court.
Okay, so it's not that simple. You can't just say, I want to foster this child. I mean, obviously it's not going to be simple, but so there's no real allowance for you being in America or Europe or England, whatever. You have to. That's a local thing. That's strictly for Jamaican citizens resident in the country.
I remember back in the day, and that is why I said it is a legal process, because back in the day you'll hear, this person died leaving how many foster children or adopted children, but it's not the legal route.
Right.
Okay. So it's a legal process.
All right. So let me check online just to see if there are any other persons with questions. Most of the persons are just waving at us, and we appreciate that wave. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for your eyes. All right. So seem to be lining up their questions to send them in. Send in your questions. We really are looking out for it. That's how we make this discussion more interesting and more evocative. We'll be able to answer your questions. Anybody who might be interested in fostering a child or adopting a child, this is the question. We have the expert in studio right now. Take the opportunity to ask the question, and who knows, it might just be the information you need to hear to push in the direction that you need to go in. All right? Now, how can anyone who is interested in becoming a foster parent sign up or apply? Meaning, I suspect beyond just going on the website or calling CPFSA, that's all it takes, or is there a more
No, they
detailed
can
process?
also come into our office. We're located island-wide. The office for Kingston and St. Andrew is at 40 Duke Street. We also have our corporate office at 48 Duke Street.
Mm-hmm.
So they can come in and get a form there. One other thing, though, because we know sometimes it's hard and the time press, if you call us and you ask information, you don't have access to the internet to get the form, and you decide on coming in, you can walk with your 2 references and also your pictures, and you do the application on spot.
All right.
Right. Save time and everything.
So I don't know if we did come to a final time limit in terms of how long the process takes to, the whole application and completion. Do we get
that's why I'd said 3 to 6 months.
3 to 6 months. All right, 3 to 6 months. There you have it, people. 3 to 6 months. If you do it right, you dot all your I's, cross all your T's, and make sure everything is done properly. 3 to 6 months, you should be able to get it done. Although persons might be wondering, boy, that seems long,
Oh, man, not long. We must say, no, we want to make sure so we cross our T's and dot the I's.
All right. All right, let me just shift gears a bit to talk about Foster Parent Week, Foster Care Week.
Right.
All right, so, give us an idea of what sparked the interest in to have this week of awareness or week of activities to, just sensitize the public about it. You're not so sure?
All right. So you know that during the week of February, all right, so we want to open our hearts, and I think that was one of the first theme.
Absolutely.
Open our hearts, share our home, open our home, share our love, right? And so we decide what better time than during the week of the love season, Valentine's Day.
All right.
Right?
That makes sense.
Right.
Makes sense.
And so during the period February 9th, that is Sunday coming, February 9th to Saturday, February 15th, we will be celebrating our foster care week under the theme Every Child Needs a Family.
Every child does need a family to
Right.
grow up and become a contributing, a well-rounded citizen in our country, a positive contributing member of society. So can you talk to me about some of the activities that you have planned for the week?
All right, so for the week, we'll be having church services, and the church services starts on Sunday. However, for the month of February, we'll be visiting several churches to sensitize the persons about what is foster care,
Right.
and try and see how many persons we can recruit. We're also recruiting persons. We're doing walkthroughs in different communities. We also have staff training and also recognizing outstanding foster parents.
Ah, lovely.
So it's right. It's not a Kingston thing or a Southeast. It's all across. So we have 4 regions, and the 4 regions will be having different activities. However, for the if you're in Kingston and St. Andrew and you'd like to be a part of the church service, we'll be having church service on Sunday at the Tarrant Baptist Church. That's on Mullines Road, and it starts at 10 o'clock.
All right.
So come out, everybody. Come with the interest to foster a child. And remember too, guys, we have teenagers who need a home.
Oh, wow. Okay. I mean, I just got this question online and it kind of threw me a little bit, took me in a different direction. Let me just ask you, because you are the expert, and that's why we have you here to ask you these questions. AgriViews JA says, I know a family who is having trouble with their teenage child and is thinking of giving the child over to the state. What would happen to the child? Would they be placed in a foster care? Give me an
All
idea.
right. So the
Seems
child
like
is
a tough one, but I
the
mean,
child
since we're
is
here.
having behavioral challenges. We at the Child Protection and Family Services Agency, we offer counseling.
Right.
Right. So the first step is counseling. It's not to remove a child from their home. So we work with families to see how best we can help this child or the parent. We also have a clinical psychologist who we refer to. We refer also to child guidance clinic and other experts. So the first step is not for the child to be taken away.
Right.
So what's the person's name?
AgriViews JA.
So AgriViews JA, I will suggest that based on the parish that the person is living, that you ask the person to visit one of our CPFSA office. If it is Kingston and St. Andrew, we're at 40 Duke Street, Montego Bay, 4 Car Crescent. All right. And we are also online, childprotection.gov.jm, where you'll see our different locations.
All right, so there you have it. Hopefully things can go in a different direction. It seems like, hope is not last stage, where the give up stage where you just want to throw up your hands and walk away. Hopefully with this kind of intervention, you might be able to salvage the situation and hopefully make a turnaround.
Right,
we wish that
exactly.
for all of you, and we hope that's exactly what happens,
Because the last option is state care.
Right. All right. Angela Arthurs Mason, thank you, Angela, for your eyes. She said, I came on late and would like to contact the department. We'll need your contact info just for persons who are there. Can you share the information, the contact information for CPFSA once again?
All right, so the numbers for 40 Duke Street are 876-948-6218, 876-948-1145, or 876-948-0243.
All right. AgriViews JA responded, and she says, can I speak with the expert off the air? It sounds like the person might want to talk to you directly. I don't know if you have an email, you can receive an email. I don't know if that's maybe that's not the way how you guys operate and how you do things, but I don't know if this person asked. If there's a way you can lend some assistance. The
person can also can call the telephone numbers listed. All and right. we each day we have someone who is on duty who can speak with. But maybe off the air we can give out the email address.
All right, you can send us a direct message, and then we'll try and facilitate that afterwards.
We can communicate via
we'll facilitate that. Right. Thank you for your eyes. We really appreciate it. Like we said, this is why the show is here. Hopefully you can get in touch with somebody who can give you the assistance you need and maybe change the outlook on the situation, right? Thank you again. All right. Continuing with what's going on for Foster Care Week, what would you say to encourage persons to become foster parents? What would be your pitch to persons who might be on the fence thinking, boy, kind of want to pick them, but I don't really know because I'm busy, life hard, I don't know if I can barely take care of myself. If I got to take care of next pick, what would be your counter argument?
But remember, that in the Bible it said the least that you do to one of these, you do it unto me. Right. And so I'm really encouraging. It is fulfilling. It is very fulfilling outside of having your own biological child or children. When you're touching a life, trust me, you feel good. It is excellent when you see how the children are getting through in life. They are successful. They are doing great things. It is, and so I will encourage everyone out there in Jamaica to just give a helping hand. Right. Think about it, and especially people, the teenagers, may I beg you, please, they need a home too. We know that oftentimes we say that the teenagers, them give a lot of trouble and then this, but them just need somebody to mentor them and somebody to care for them. Yeah. And guess what? You're changing one at a time. Right, we now say if you take two one time,
or three,
take
or
one
four,
first, and then when the one work out, you take another one. All right?
Which does bring me to it does beg the question though. Let's say you do take in a foster child. We don't say you have to sign the agreement and all kinds of things, but then you find that it's becoming a really difficult situation. Not that we want that to happen, but in that worst case scenario, how do you operate from there? So
because we monitor, right? So we monitor by doing visits. So we do school visits, we do home visits, we invite persons to the office and have also case conference and individual sessions. So we'll pick up things that is happening and also the foster parent or even the children will say, you know what, miss, this is happening. And what we do, we refer So we do our own individual counseling session. But if we are realizing that we cannot reach the child or the parent, we refer to our clinical psychologist or to our external partners for assistance, because we really don't want the placement to break down.
Of course, no, that would be the last resort.
Right.
Like I said, we really want to keep the families, get them into the family so that they can kind of grow and develop and nurture. That's supposed to be the best environment for the children to grow and develop. So we have to find ways to mend it if it's broken. And
we want stability. You know?
Exactly.
Stability is very important.
Absolutely. All right. So, how many parents and families are involved with the National Foster Care Program? All
right. So currently we have 1,018 children in foster care, and we have 882 foster families.
All right. And so there are more children available to foster, I imagine.
So these are the children who are placed. Right. And so we have more children in care who we want to place with families.
All right. People might ask, you touched on it in terms of people saying that you need the teenagers to get fostered too, because they need it, which suggests that persons might be gravitating towards children.
Yes,
but at the same time, how do you identify it? Let's say, for example, I'm just watching this program or something like that, and you see, okay, I want to go foster somebody, but they might be specific, like say, I want to see or know. Do the potential foster parents have any say in who they get to select?
All right. So on the application form and even in the interview, they will say, all right, I need let's say a 6-year-old male or female. Some say no preference. All right. And so once they tell us that, we match accordingly. And for the most part, I think we have been doing great with our matching. Some persons look alike. I don't know how it works, but trust me. And and that is why I said earlier that we have the bonding, right, where we allow the person to go to the home to look, to see this child. It's not something that you say, all right, I'm going to send you to an institution
and for you to walk and or something like that.
No, we're not doing that. We don't want anybody to feel no way. Because you know everybody want to go home.
Exactly, that's true. So you send like files or something like the parents or pictures, that kind of thing, or how do you operate?
So once we have identified the child, we do a letter to the institution so that they know who the person is coming. The person also get the letter, and then they visit and they meet the child. These placements are supervised. These visits are supervised.
All right. So you basically oversee the whole process to make sure that the child's emotional state is taken care of, because the last thing you want is for a child to meet with the person or vice versa, the parent to meet with the child, and then it just breaks down and both just can't work with each other.
And we also speak to the children also. To say that, that somebody's interested in taking you home, somebody will be visiting you, and so they are aware that someone is coming.
All right. I guess most persons might be wondering, because one of the things people are expressing interest in terms of they want to know the information for CPFSA, so I guess they can start the process. So, right as I said that, Kamala, me don't talk right, says me want adapt one. I suspect that's what she means, more adapt one. Well, again, and persons have been asking for the contact information, so just to not have me say it or them read it in the content, can you just go through the contact information for the CPFSA
so the
again?
Contact numbers for the Kingston and St. Andrew office, they are 876 948 6218, 876 1145, or 876-0243. Online, it's www.childprotection.gov.jm. And based on the parish that you're living in, you'll see our other contact information.
I'd like to hope that, is concentrated in Kingston and St. Andrew, or you see it widely across the island?
Island wide.
All right, lovely, because, people, I always believe Kingston is Jamaica, so,
Exactly so. And that is why we say island-wide, so persons can, and if you call our offices and you're living in, let's say you're living in St. Anne, we give your St. Anne number if it's not up front.
All right. So how long has do you know how long foster care week has been an initiative? How long it's been going on?
From 2006.
2006,
Right.
and you've been seeing the awareness being raised up in the public about how they approach fostering children, and have you seen more interest being shown over the years?
Yes, we have, and so that is why we have the increase in our foster care.
All right,
carers.
lovely. Yeah, that makes me very happy. That makes me feel warm and fuzzy inside. I mean, it's good to know that there are good-natured people out there who are taking the opportunity
Yes.
to show some of the children who might feel a little vulnerable and feel a little unloved. You know what I mean?
Right.
That they can also have some love. I understand that you also do this at Christmas as well.
Yes, we
Talk to me
do.
about that.
So in Christmas, we give the persons an opportunity to take children home for the 2
For the
days.
holidays, yeah.
Some persons might extend it,
Mhm.
right? And they also need to complete an application form and also do the references and also pictures and replace children.
So let me just play devil's advocate for a minute and just flip things in a completely different direction. So watch me now. What about the people who say this foster care thing is wickedness because it come in like you give a picnic a sweetie and then you take it back from him same time, in the sense that he might leave the children's home, go visit somewhere nice, and you stay with a nice family who treats him very well, him or her very well for a period, and then just like that it's over and they're back in the children's home feeling alone and neglected and that kind of thing. What would you say to people like that?
All right, so for people like that, I'll say, talk to us at the CPFSA, because if you're interested in I know that some persons cannot take a child full time, right, because of their different obligations.
Right, we can
However,
talk to them.
we ask that you think about it, right? The child warm your heart during the Christmas time, and these children need a family. We ask that for you to just visit us. So come down to any of our offices and apply for the children. All right.
So yeah, you think the children appreciate being taken out like this and exposed to these different families and so on?
They are we have seen where the same persons have taken children for the Christmas, and they continue to visit them, right? We are hopeful, and we have seen where there's going to be some hope where some persons will be taking some of the children that went home for the Christmas.
All right. So so the children enjoy they're not sad, or the outing make them feel good.
They enjoy going out. And so we explain, remember, we have to explain to them because we don't want to break the children's
That's
heart.
true, exactly.
So we explain
that's
to them
exactly.
that it is for a period and that we are open.
All right. So let's go right back to the beginning in terms of Foster Care Week. Let's start. So Foster Care Week is next week, February 9 to 15. And the purpose of Foster Care Week is?
It's aimed at raising awareness about the program and recruiting new foster parents.
Right. So getting more persons to be aware of the process, maybe consider fostering a child, changing their lives as well as the lives of some of our children who might be in very vulnerable situations. So it's something that you really should consider. Some of the activities involved in Foster Care Week will be?
So we have walkthroughs, church services, training and recognition of outstanding foster parents.
All right, lovely. All right, and you should consider fostering, before I even go there, who is eligible to foster a child?
A person who is between the ages of 25 to 65 years, you're an outstanding person in the community, you're willing to undergo a medical, do a police record, right?
All right, and what is the process to apply to be a foster parent?
All right, so you need to complete an application form, submit 2 passport-size pictures notarized, 2 letters of references, willing to undergo a training, and also for us to do home visits.
All right, there you have it. It's not a basic process. You don't just come sign 2 paper and a child shows up on your doorstep the next day. It's a very intensive process. Your home is assessed, you are assessed, your family is assessed, maybe even your work too. It's a very detailed analysis to make sure that when they match you with a child, it's in the best interest of both parties. All right? So take it seriously. We hope that you do make the decision, but if you do take it seriously, think about it, talk to your friends, your relatives, if this is a decision that you want to make, so that when you go through the process, you do it in the best interest of yourself and the child. And talk to them about the form or the consent form that they have to sign before they complete the process.
So there is an agreement that you need to sign, and the agreement outlines different steps. For example, if you change your telephone numbers, because people change telephone numbers often, if you change your telephone numbers, we need to know if you're taking the child. If you decide to take the child out of the island, we need to know, right, the basic things. But before, because it seems you're wrapping up, one of the things, and trust me, there are several success stories in foster care and for children in state care island-wide. We have children who are successful in their CXCs. They are also at universities. Trust me, it warms your heart, the joy, and the persons might look and say, oh, you're not given a lot of money for this, but the successes, it really is more than the amount that you'll get.
Right.
And currently I have a foster parent who, by becoming a foster parent, her parents died.
Oh, wow.
And then she was living in Canada, and she took on the responsibility of 2 teenagers.
Right.
And one is in university now, and the other is on doing our work program.
Right. And I think there might be a tendency to think a lot of the times that persons who get put up for adoption or persons who are in state care, that kind of thing, are difficult children, children who, have antisocial behaviors and that kind of thing. But remember, there are many children who are in the situation because of personal family tragedies or things that just happened, things that their lives probably just got changed overnight, right? You just heard that maybe have a single parent and then lose that parent in an accident or something like that.
So it's not only because of behavioral challenges.
Right. So you can be in a position to shine a ray of light to that child and make them feel better. Lend a helping hand, be a mentor, be a person that helps them to continue and keep on that positive track in their life, so that they can become the real person that they should be, realize their full potential, right? As she said, there are many success stories. It's not just, sadness and grief and all that.
Not at all.
Yes, I mean, I can already draw from you that it is something that's really fulfilling based on how we've been talking about the subject. But then again, on the flip side of that, we don't want people to get too comfortable. Remember that fostering is not adoption.
Right.
I mean, as much as you bond and you enjoy the time together, remember, the child does not belong to you. So, you have to be aware of that. And that is not to say that you don't get too close or anything like that.
Right.
But remember that the child don't belong to you. So you can't just take the child and before you change address and hide, and all of a sudden we can't find the child again. That can't work, right?
Can't work at all.
All right. So last thing again, I'll just give you a last appeal. Why foster a child? Pay attention, look intensely into the camera, talk to the people them, talk to Jamaica, talk to them in some part of, just call them in and say, come listen to me, let me talk to you. Hear why I must foster a child. All right, let me talk to you. Talk to them, talk to the people.
All right, so you have a lot to give. I'm sure that Jamaica, you have a lot of love in your heart to give. And you have some empty spaces and you want to help somebody. Just come down, come down. You see, right now, when the program almost finished, just show up at any of our offices island-wide and said, you know what, I heard this program on Studio 58A and I want to foster
you
because
Miss Georgia Edwards talking and she inspire and make your heart feel warm and fuzzy. And you say, I feel like I need to adopt a child today.
Today,
right?
You
see, there's so many.
You're going to adoption, right? So you want foster a child right now, today. I want the application forms because you know what? I have a lot of love. A long time I think about this, but guess what? She opened up my heart. She made me realize, say, that's something we really need for a long time.
So where they must call, where they must go, tell me number one more time.
Our offices are island-wide, and for Kingston and St. Andrew, telephone numbers are 876-948-6218, 876-948-1145, or 876-0243. Or on the internet, www.childprotection.gov.jm. And remember, we have offices island-wide.
All right, so when you check that out, remember that foster care week is next week, February 9 to 15. CPFSA is going to be going all over the place, trying to raise awareness, getting people aware of what's going on, the process, application process, all the different details involved in fostering a child. So they'll be coming to you. Look out for them. There's a church service that gets started on Sunday. Where's the church service again?
Well, for Kingston and St. Andrew, it's at Tarrant Baptist.
Right.
For St. Catherine, it's at Worship and Faith International. St. Thomas, it's at Licensed Church of God. We also have church services at St. John's Methodist Church and the Calvary Baptist Church in St. James, Falmouth New Testament Church of God. We also have in Westmount, so we have island-wide.
Yeah, island-wide. They're going to be everywhere, people. Just look out for them. Keep when it might just even be your church. You know what I mean? Just keep your eyes out. There's lots of notices that are going to be floating around. Pay attention to the media. Listen to the radio stations. All of that. All information will be disseminated, and you should be able to access it and be able to find some way to participate or get some information through Foster Care Week next week. All right. On that note, I think it's time for us to wrap. Thank you to Miss Georgia Edwards for coming in and making that wonderful appeal. I hope that next week I hear about 10,000 people decide they want to foster a child, and you're overwhelmed and you have so many children and you're scrambling to find places to put them. But that's a good problem to have.
Yeah, good problem.
It's a great problem to have. Right, and I hope you in Jamaica and maybe even those in the diaspora who might be thinking about it can make some connections and make some moves and things and make things happen so that we can get some of our children experiencing the love and and the good feelings that they deserve, because there are many who are in state care who might feel like society forget about them, feel like, boy, nobody not care about them, nobody not love them. And if you're that kind of person, you have that love in your heart, you have that love to give, this is one of the best ways you can possibly do that. All right, so check it out. CPFSA, Child Protection and Family Services Agency. Check them out online. Miss Edwards just gave you the contact details. We have it posted in our social media pages in the comments, so you can check that out and contact them and make an effort. Right. All right. Thank you to everyone who tuned into our discussion, especially those of you who send in your questions and your comments. And if you sent in a question or you have one and you want to send it, go ahead. We'll be going through afterwards and be able to find that out and give you the right information so we can help you get set up. All right. Remember, our audience plays a major part in our show. If there's anyone in particular you'd like us to have in studio, let us know, and we'll try to have that person in studio as soon as possible. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Jamaica Information Service to see who will be in studio next. We do this every week, live on Instagram and Facebook. I've been your host, Vaughn Davis, and this has been Studio 58A Live. Thank you very much for having us, and please have a wonderful day.